This is episode 202 of the Super League Pod. Get ready for a show where I'm happy about everything but the crowds, hang in there for the rant, find out which of Tim's family is the smartest, which big lass has good hands, and where the Man of Steel goes to show off his tackle. That and all the usual stuff. Get strapped in, it's SLP time. Hello listeners, welcome along to episode 202 of the Super League Pod. I am Mark, your regular host, and I am riding the crest of a wave still as I look forward to two grand finals for my Wigan Warriors on Saturday, and I'm joined this week by Tim G. How are you doing, Tim? Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I'm good. Had a good few weeks. Had last week off actually, which was nice and relaxing. So had a good week. Got recovered from all the stuff with the London rep side because we had the game on the Saturday
and the big celebrations from going undefeated
and the celebrations and still sorting a few bits out, still sorting some kit out that who's owed what, etc.
What was the what were the celebrations like then after your three wins from three outings?
Surprisingly muted actually. I didn't go on with a lot of the squad that went on. Some people went on to the Broncos game, some people just went out in Belushi's in down in Hammersmith. It was a popular rugby league haunt, but I had to shoot off for personal reasons. But yeah, people were enjoying themselves in the bar at Scholars, having a good drink with the Welsh boys. They were all enjoying themselves, ready for their flight off to Serbia, where they've done quite well.
Yeah, I haven't followed up on too much of that, but they played last in the middle of the week, didn't they? And then Serbia played against France at the weekend. Yeah,
lost by 2 points. In the midweek game, and then won quite comfortably, I think 50 points to 10 in the game they played on Saturday.
Excellent. So you warmed them up well. You eased them into things. That's great. What? Anything else to report, Tim?
No, not huge. Went to football on Tuesday night, which was quite good fun against Birmingham. Wednesday I went to see 90s Britpoppers, the Blue Tones.
There you go. Yeah, what was that like?
100 Club. That was really good. They were supported by an indie band who I'd not actually heard of the first time round, called Salad.
No, lost on me that.
No, and safe to say that they were slightly on the turn, looking at them. But they were definitely had been.
You mean
been
like
around in the 90s and then
becoming gay?
No, they were looking their advanced years.
Oh right, okay. I didn't understand what you meant then.
Well, it's like you talk about fruit and veg. You say, oh, that's on the turn. That's getting a bit old.
Right. Okay. It's not something I use in my house. That I didn't know what you meant at all.
There we go.
Fair enough. So what was the highlight? Brentford or the Blue Tones?
Well, definitely the Blue Tones, down at the 100 Club in Soho. Really good venue. And actually, yesterday I went down to Bristol, which was a nice day out, because I had my interview for volunteering at the Cricket World Cup next year.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah,
You'll
so
be able to kick Dave Cantrell out of venues.
Quite possibly.
When he gets drunk and unruly.
Although, I think I'm going to be in the media centre, in the media operations bit. So I'll be in Bristol for the 3 games there, and then possibly at some of the other venues as well.
Excellent stuff. Well, like I told you just before we started recording, we are recording about 20 minutes after I got in from work, which was a long day at work for me. So my life sucks on that regard. But over the weekend, obviously, I took in some rugby league, bought some tickets. What else did I do? What else did I do this week? Not a lot.
Must have had some sort of Emma engagement at some point.
She came to the rugby yesterday to the women's game. Yeah, she didn't like it as much as the Challenge Cup final because of the distance away from the pitch. Because at Robin Park Arena, there's the running track and all that between the stand and the pitch. So she felt like that.
I've not seen it, but is it quite a soft stand, as athletics ones tend to have? They're quite a shallow stand, so you don't get as much of a vantage point.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not horrific, but it's not ideal for someone who's, easily slips out of the action because they're not really, that interested.
Yeah.
So we did that together. What else did we do? That's about it. Quiet life, building up for going away to America. So she's stressing out about plans for that. So at the moment, last night she was arranging hair dryers at the places we're staying. People we're staying with. So yeah, that's not really interesting at all. We need to move on really to something more interesting, Tim, which is our show, which is all about the last week in rugby league, and we've got some big games to recap with lots of the listener fan reviews. Tim, we've got tons of those particularly for the big semi-finals and also the £1 million game. Before that, we're going to run through some of the England squads that have been announced over the last week, but there's just a couple of call-outs to make really before we get onto that, because if you're listening now and you've not done the voting for your sloppy Super League Pod Listener Awards, then the voting is open. If you're not a Wigan or a Warrington fan, then your team's, I suppose, or a Swinton or Workington fan, then your team's season is done. So you can get over there and fill it all out. If you go to superleaguepod.com, there's a blog post that's on there that's got more details about it. Or look on our Facebook and Twitter feeds for the links to the voting form and all the information about what we want from you listeners for our season review show as well. We talked a little bit last week about people giving their expressions of interest to talk about their team. So I've had people get in touch so far, I think, on Widnes and Hull Kingston Rovers, and we've had some polite inquiries around St Helens and Warrington too, so looking good. The Warrington one though, the person said if someone else wants to get in touch instead and be on the show with me to talk about Warrington season, then they would forego that opportunity. So but any other club I've not mentioned there is still open for someone to get in touch, and we'll go through. Obviously that's just for the Super League clubs. For any other clubs, we'll just be taking your views in the normal way. Of course, if you don't want to join me on the show but you still want to send in an audio review, like a couple of minutes of your team's season, reviewing your team's season, then you can do that for any level of the competition. We love those. They're our favourite things of the whole year. So get in touch with us for those. Go to superleaguepod.com and look at the post. It'll be called 2018 Awards or something along those lines. It's already up, and find out all. And
feel free, and if you are recording something, feel free to get your kids involved as well. Get your family, friends, and anyone else. Always makes it good fun. Dogs, cats, any other sort of animal.
Pushing a bit with the animals, but yeah, families.
Oh, imagine if we could get a llama involved. That'd be amazing.
Who would they support?
Well,
actually, my dad's mate used to have a llama farm in where was it? Hebden Bridge. So
there you go.
There you go. With the Halifax fans, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. All Halifax. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is, we've got two pairs.
Cornwall's got lots of llamas actually.
Has it? So. So South America. I don't know any rugby league teams in South America though, other than Chile, I suppose.
Latin Heat.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Anyway, we've got two sets. We've got two pairs of grand final tickets to give away as well, Tim.
Ooh.
Next week. Now we're going to put some posts up on social media to kind of entice people into them. So two of them are going to be given away to anyone who pays into the women's grand final on Saturday afternoon. All you have to do is find us at the regional arena and ask for the tickets, and two grand final tickets will be given as long as they have not already been given when you got there.
I think we should come up with some sort of
password.
Yeah.
Is it going to make a difference?
Some sort of password? No, but I just think it would be quite fun for someone to, local radio competition style, someone has to come up and tell you the phrase.
Okay. The phrase to tell us is "Cass were never champions." How's that sound?
Cass were never champions. That sounds a brilliant idea. Yeah.
Good. Okay, and then the other pair we're looking to give away. We think it would be a great idea, and we're going to throw this out through social media to try and get that sort of thing in. It's going to be one of those, like and share type situations. But for anyone who wants to bring someone, a rugby league newbie, to the Super League grand final, so. Get in touch with. It'll be like a tag your friend in the reply kind of sing with which non-rugby league fan in your life you want to bring to the grand final with you, and then free tickets to the grand final will be yours. So look out for
You could always trick them and say you're taking them to a Blossoms gig.
Yeah,
of course,
exactly. No doubt then they'll be like, why are Blossoms playing at 5:40? What's that about? Because there's just an opening act, mate. Yeah, so there you go. The tickets won't be very close to Blossoms, I don't think, but we will. But that's what we've got. So look out on social media for that and share it and that sort of stuff. And there's two ways of getting yourself a pair of grand final tickets. Okay, that's all I've got to call out at the top of the show. We're now going to move on to news from around the world of rugby league. News now from around the world of rugby league, sponsored by rundom.run and by littlewarden.com. Every year, Dom does stupid runs in stupid costumes to raise money for Martin House, and this year is like no other. Little Warden is going to match any donation by the SLP listeners to rundom.run. Just leave hashtag SLP family in the donation comments. So click on the link to rundom.run in our blog post. That'll take you through to where you can donate. Hashtag SLP family, and that'll get matched. Dom was at the open day for Martin House this weekend, and as always with what that charity does, they look after the respite care for basically terminally ill children and their families. It was a very emotional day, and Dom is closing in on £10,000, which is absolutely phenomenal amount for that charity. It basically covers half a day of their operations for which is a huge bonus to that charity. So if anyone who hasn't donated yet wants to donate, then please do and support Dom. Dom's got 3 runs left in, I think, 2 weeks' time. They are at Disney World in Florida, or Disneyland in Florida. Which one's that one? I think it's Walt Disney World, isn't it, the Florida one?
I always get it wrong. It's
Whatever
the same,
it is,
same with Chapel House. I always get the wrong one.
It's the Florida one, and he's got I think a 10k, then a half marathon, then a full marathon, but it might be a 5k, then a 10k.
Basically,
then a half
an insane amount.
But a lot of running in huge, hilarious costumes. He's taking 4 costumes. He's having to send the costumes ahead of himself. This is what this man does for this charity. He pays for himself to go to Florida, and then also to transport the costumes separately.
Ship the costume,
so
yeah.
Please do get around Dom and support him if you haven't already, because he is an SLP legend. Okay, Dream Team. We talked a little bit about it last week, but we didn't go into depth because it was not announced by the time we were recording. Just like similarly, the Man of Steel Awards will be ongoing whilst we're recording this, but not out until after it's too late for us to react to them, probably. I think one year we kind of...
One of you half did it live, and it was quite amusing.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. As we say that, I've just refreshed Twitter, and top try scorer is very surprisingly the one and only Ben Barber.
No way.
So, how do we not count those? Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive. Okay, so but the Dream Team. 7 players from St Helens were selected in the 2018 Dream Team. The rest of the team, selected by a panel of the sports broadcasters and journalists in a secret ballot, comprised players from Wakefield, Wigan and Catalan Dragons. So only 4 teams represented from the Super League in this. The 2018 Super League Dream Team in full then was at fullback Ben Barber of St Helens. This is his only fullback. This is his only Dream Team appearance, and so it shall be.
Well, it will be. Yeah.
Tommy Makinson.
Well, until he does something naughty and has to come back again in 3 years' time.
Fair shout. Tommy Makinson is also from St Helens. He's making his second Dream Team appearance. Last time was back in 2014, which was the last time Saints won the title.
Snowman.
Well, no, not anymore. Spoiler. They're not going to win the title. Mark Percival of St Helens.
People be listening thinking, you don't know.
Of St Helens as well, makes his second Dream Team appearance. It's his second consecutive 2 years in a row, so that's good for him. Bill Tupu is the first of the Wakefield trio. He's making his debut appearance in the Dream Team, and he's done a fantastic job this season.
Sorry, did you say Wakefield trio or Wakefield Trinity?
I said Wakefield trio. because
But it should be Trinity, surely.
the second of the Wakefield. Oh, I'm with you. The second of the
there we go.
Wakefield Trinity, Tom Johnston, he's also making his debut